You are listening to an original message from the reader currently known as Jason Ashanti McDaniel of Madam Jason's Tarot. Dear spirit guides of the highest benevolence only those that are able to help out the message, please help out. And then when you are done, you're not earthbound. You can go back to doing whatever source appoints you to do. Please deliver the most clear, concise, synchronistic, and accurate messages for the Sagittarius Collective, whatever they need to know about next month. Please bless those that bless me, curse those that curse me. To anyone sending me or the tribe negative energy, may that energy be returned to sender 3 times fold immediately. Amen, Ashe, and thank you very much. Okay, so this might resonate with someone who has a lot of Sagittarius in their chart. We might see a lot of cards that actually represent you in the reading because the energy of temperance is here. But also we have safe travel here at the bottom of the deck. Sagittarius is known to be the traveler zodiac sign because they're ruled by Jupiter. The first 2 cards that came out are time and transmute. So that's definitely temperance card energy, and that is a major arcana that literally represents Sagittarius. We have relief and power. So being that power is the last card, I'm kind of getting something about someone calling their power back. And it might be that you just now started to heal from something that happened to you a long time ago. And in your 30-minute, if you guys have watched that, the one that I'm going to post before this, one of the stories that came out, because there are a lot of stories, was that it has taken you longer than what other people have expected for you to heal over something and to stop grieving over something. It could be a romantic relationship that you had, or a loved one that passed away who you're still missing. But in the 30-minute, it was just basically saying that you were taking quite a while, according to other people's standards, to heal. But the thing is, you're probably doing more shadow work than most people that you know. And there's something like, because you're calling your power back, now you feel relieved because after some time you were able to transmute some energy, which is really good. And because we have safe travel here at the bottom of the deck, I'm picking up on someone having to leave a relationship and you had to move out, or it could have something to do with your North Node too. Like maybe you just have a North Node, like if you have North Node Aries or something like that. We're definitely going to use astro alignment, because one of the lessons that you had to learn this lifetime, or that you're still learning, is like maybe something to do with not people pleasing or just leaving karmic situations that don't serve you anymore. So maybe your Saturn placement is significant too. So I'm going to try to get like 7 or 8 cards out of physical features, unless a whole bunch want to come out. So if there are physical features that come out that don't represent you or anyone else's energy that you feel in the reading, do not fret, because there are other ways that you can tell that this is your reading. I just got to shuffle a little bit more. I'm gonna reshuffle the first cluster that came out because it looks too much like a reading that I did before, and I want to make sure I get a few that are different. I know some physical features are more common than others, but I just want to make sure that the deck is shuffled well. Okay, Someone who has braids or purple hair could be significant. We have Asian, tall. This is also my IG model card. Few extra pounds. We have glowing skin, average physique, well-groomed, and braces. Someone could also have glasses. This is also someone's frustrated at you, or maybe you're frustrated card. And this is like a Barber Cosmo card. So Barber Cosmo energy comes out a lot when it comes to people's occupations. We have vitiligo, gap smile, and glasses. So there's a synchronicity with glasses. Someone can even have a septum piercing. But now I'm going to scry in the Scrabble tiles. If you're new here, what this basically does is it lets me know names, zodiac signs, states, places where you could be from, any clues, hints, or inside jokes that you have with the universe. Just things that let me know what the reading is going to be about, and also things that might resonate with you. Sometimes your occupation or what you recently ate can come out in the tiles too. Or something like, I'm just going to say like dishes, or like something that you could be doing at the moment. Sometimes beats come out. So maybe someone could be, putting on some headphones while they're listening to this. Okay. So I'm just making sure that I have enough different alphabets to actually make words. So let me just flip these over and see what else I got here. Okay, I'm gonna look for an M because I feel like we need an M. Okay, someone's name could be Kelsey. Meek is in here. I'm definitely picking up something about, maybe one lesson that you've learned is like how to, because I'm feeling the energy of temperance. Some of you might have a side to where you want to go off on people, but you've learned to be less reactive, and that makes sense because Sagittarius is a fire sign. Okay, rich. Some of you could be attracting abundance too. So I do see DMs in here. So something about someone maybe having a social media presence could be significant. I always try to find like the beauty in everyone, just because I have Sagittarius rising, and I'm like a bohemian and all that kind of stuff. And also I think a lot of it has to do with me being an artist, but also being pansexual, being a painter. I always try to find beautiful traits about people, but there's something that I'm picking up about someone being very attractive, like a divine feminine being very beautiful, and knowing it and being confident, but not being egotistical. And also there's more to it underneath the surface. That being said, empath is here, so people could tell you a lot that you're beautiful inside and out. Also, like a soft Sagittarius could be watching this too, because like certain zodiac signs or certain trines, I feel like people expect them to be a certain way. But for example, a lot of my Geminis or Leos are more on the introverted or the shy side, so that might resonate with you. Someone's name could be Levi. I'm also seeing Levi's the brand, so someone can work in a department store. RSVP. So that can go back to being an influencer or being a person. You're either attracting wealth or you have some sort of service where people have to book you. And that might go with the cosmetologist energy that I'm picking up too. Let's see if I can find any ethnicities in here. Someone's name could be Kevin, Elvis, I do see PTSD. Something about someone, your psyche placement could be significant, or you could be a psych major. That would make sense because Sag does rule ninth house in astrology, which has to do with like philosophy, spirituality, things like that. So I know that there's probably a lot in there. I could especially feel it in the bottom 3 rows, but I can't really see anything right now. I also see the name Alvin, and I don't know why, but leeks is getting my attention. Not the vegetable, but Leak. So someone could also have like a plumber job, but also Nene Leaks. Someone could have blonde hair, or they could have finger waves. But there's also like a diplomatic, or like, I don't want to say the word bougie because I don't personally like that word. But with Nene Leaks, there's like an energy of a woman that's very classy and luxurious and knows how to pamper herself. And of course, this could be a black woman because I am kind of picturing black woman energy. But take it out as it resonates. And because I do see UC in here, I do feel like something about someone pursuing any sort of education, but especially like going to university, is significant. Because this physical feature card kind of gives me Page of Swords energy, just because she looks very opinionated. And I'm also seeing sexual stuff in the tiles too, so we're going to get into that. See if that's going to be like a major or minor theme with this. So I might have to do charm casting too. But at the bottom of the deck here, we have 4 of Cups in the reverse. In the 30-minute, the energy that I was picking up for Sagittarius was that they were bored, especially if they've gotten less hours, or they don't work right now, they're bored. But with 4 of Cups in the reverse, someone could be getting out of a period of boredom as well. There could be something that you've been waiting a very long time for. We have the Moon in the reverse, 6 of Cups in the reverse. Here we go again, talking about the past. The Star in the reverse. And of course we have Temperance, which came out upright. 3 major arcanas. Right now we have Pisces, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Sagittarius. So the Moon in the reverse, something getting revealed, letting go of fear and anxiety. Maybe you were, okay, what I just heard was delusional, but I wanted to say like confused or unsure about something, and that period of your life is going to be gone. One thing that I've been thinking about, because speaking of philosophy and Sagittarius energy, because I told you I'm a Sag rising, so I think that's the reason why I like to read a lot. But I've been thinking about Zora Neale Hurston, and how in my eyes are watching God, she said, there are some years that ask questions and there are some years that answer. So with the Moon in the reverse, I feel like you're getting an answer or some sort of clarity to something. You could have been seeing angel number 55 everywhere. 6 of Cups is usually bad memories, or failing to move on from the past, or South Node energy, or not wanting to start things that are new. The Star, it's kind of weird seeing the Star reversed and then Temperance upright right after, because these are almost like, they almost mean the same thing, and even the imagery is similar with the pouring stuff and having to do with water and healing. But the Star in the reverse could be lack of balance, lack of healing. The Star, the Moon, and the Sun all have to do with exposure or illumination. So being that this is in the reverse, it's almost like the opposite energy of the Moon reverse. On one hand, I feel like some obscurity has been cleared up, but then with the Star in the reverse, maybe someone feels like they're not getting enough exposure on social media, or they're not really getting attention that they want for whatever reason. But Temperance is good to see. It represents balancing of opposites, duality, because I always mention how, especially when it comes to personalities, it talks about having 1 foot into the water, 1 foot on the earth. So to me, this is like, you know, people who have that hood high priestess energy, or like ghetto warlock energy. people like you because you're probably a person that talks about angel numbers and God and all that, but you probably also cuss and you like to listen to rap music and all that. So it's kind of like having one foot into the ethereal or divine stuff, but also being down to earth and having one foot on the earth. But temperance represents self-control, meekness. Meek is in the tiles. Patience, long-suffering. Just, it's also kind of represents just being present and still and just trusting the universe, being a very grounded individual. So what does this mean altogether? I don't know. You're obviously a chosen one, so I just think that this is saying that overall you triumph, even though you are a human and things do get hard sometimes. So let's clarify the moon in the reverse. What is it that you let go of, or what is it that you feel like is illuminated now? Ace of Cups reverse, Knight of Cups upright, Cancer, Pisces, and a lot of Scorpio over here. Something about a relationship. But I'm getting mixed energy with that. I feel like that, seeing both of those come out like that, it could mean a lot of things. So let's just keep clarifying. We have Ace of Pentacles upright. So right now we have all earth, all water on the table. I want to clarify Ace of Cups reverse because I just feel like there's a person, more than likely you have a soul tie with them. It's like, you know, at some point with the Knight of Cups, they might come towards you and give you an offer because we have Ace of Pentacles here. But with the Ace of Cups reverse, maybe some of you have struggled going back and forth with, because you have to be clear what you want to manifest. A lot of people, they get in comment sections and they say the opposite of what they want to manifest. I think you could have gone back and forth with, do I want a new person? Do I want someone from my past? But also there's the option of holding both of those truths at the same time, like being open to new love. But I don't know if this Ace of Cups reverse means that like you're tired or you have nothing that you can give emotionally to a situation from your past. But at the same time, it feels intuitive, like you know that this person might come back around. So let's get a little bit more about this little section right here. We got Page of Pentacles in the reverse, 10 of Pentacles upright, and now I'm seeing 6 of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. So there's definitely something here about success, but Page of Pentacles reverse. Once again, it's like that, I don't want to say wishy-washy. Some of you could have Cancer in your chart because it just feels very influenced by mood. But it's like Ace of Cups reverse, Page of Pentacles reverse. Both of those could talk about apathy or like not laziness or just not wanting to do something. So especially if you have like a online platform, and because I see empath in the tiles, I myself know as an empath, you have moments where it's like, okay, I'm going full throttle with this because I'm trying to get my generational abundance, but then there are other times when you just feel so drained. So that's where temperance and the self-regulation comes in. But it's like, ultimately, you know that your destiny is to be basically making money passively, like getting paid to just be you, pretty much, type thing. And also 10 of Pentacles has to do with family. So I want to get a little bit more about 10 of Pentacles. Why is that showing here? The Sun. Okay, I was also thinking there's something about you co-parenting with someone. So for some of you, you might want the person who you're co-parenting to come back to you, because the Sun card represents children and also represents exposure too. We got, like I said, we have the moon, the star, and the sun. All that is illumination energy. But also some of you might be wanting to do this with a new person. You might, with Ace of Cups in the reverse, I am picking something up about miscarriages. But also there's something about like you believe in spirit babies, you believe in twin flames working together to uplift the overall energy of the universe and also to work on 3D abundance and be lights in that way. And ultimately thinking about that makes you very happy, but I don't know, I guess just along the journey sometimes you can feel discouraged. But now that the sun is here and it's the happiest card in tarot, and I do feel like something about pregnancy is significant. Maybe Ace of Cups is in the reverse. The sun is upright because after a series of miscarriages, you're finally going to be able to have children. And this is something that other tarot readers could have told you too. Because sometimes with the sun, it kind of gives me like the story of Joseph or miracle child energy. I do believe that some people who resonate with feeling spirit babies, like you know your child is meant to have some sort of like light worker purpose too. I mean, that's a possibility when you have one parent that's like that, but if it's like a twin flame situation, you're meant to have a child with this person, or even just a project or something like that, for those of you who don't want children or who can't have it in any way, shape, or form, there's something about like new energy and rebirth here too with the sun. And I'm also channeling another book that I've read is The House of Hidden Meanings by RuPaul. And RuPaul basically says that his mother went to a psychic when she was pregnant, and the psychic said that you're going to have a famous son. And I think RuPaul made a mistake because he named the book The House of Hidden Meanings because he's like, oh, Libra rules that house. But I think he was really talking about Scorpio and he got it mixed up. But I don't know, somebody could have Libra or Scorpio in their chart. It might come out in astro alignment. So what's the Six of Cups reverse about? Three of Swords, yeah, some sort of betrayal or hurt from the past. But what specifically? It's definitely romantic. For some of you, it could also have something to do with family or being, like, always being bullied in work settings or something like that. Five of Swords upright, Four of Pentacles. Yeah, some of you could work in a field that's very competitive. Or maybe you have a history of being romantically involved in people who think that love is a competition, and also people who could be, I'm seeing the Hierophant in the reverse. So for some of you, there was a bad marriage that you had in the past. Or it could just be any sort of commitment with someone romantically. Or around people who were just avoidant and breadcrumbing and always holding back their energy. So there's something about self-worth that you've had to learn here too. Okay, the Star in the reverse. Okay, I do see PTSD in the tiles, so some of you could have even struggled with something related to depression in the past. Also, with the Star reverse and Temperance, I'm hearing that someone actually takes medicine for that, like antidepressants or serotonin or something. Okay, the Star reverse is clarified by the Emperor upright. Is somebody having a crush on an affluent man who they feel like would not give them the time of day right now? Okay, explain the Emperor. Because the Emperor is sometimes like a business owner, is boss daddy energy, someone who's definitely affluent. Queen of Wands upright. Okay. So we have Aries and Leo here. Five of Cups. So the Queen of Wands is manifestor energy, but it's also attractive energy. Why does this feel like someone feels like they're out of somebody's league? Or maybe you thought that because both you and this person were attractive, both of you seem to be rulers, that both you and this person should be together. And notice how both of those came out upright, which I don't feel negative energy from that, but now we have Five of Cups here. So that also makes me feel like this is something from your past. I see Nine of Wands here, which is a Sagittarius card too. So maybe some of you are, it's like you know you're destined to be with someone, or you know that you just make sense with them. And it could be because of astrological placements. But I do feel like someone's trying to force it too much. Okay, before I move on to Temperance, let's get a little bit more on Five of Cups upright here. Seven of Swords reverse. I usually see Seven of Swords reverse as someone getting exposed for lying, or someone apologizing. But why? That doesn't really make sense coming out with what I see here. Ultimately, Seven of Swords, it's a card where, like, most readers, when they see it, they feel negative energy. But just speaking from a general perspective, this is a sword card, so it represents intellect and throat chakra, communication. Being that this is in the reverse, it could mean that in the past someone wasn't being resourceful about something. But what does that mean in a romantic context? We do have Three of Swords here, so does this mean that someone was cheated on in the past? I think that was Death in the reverse that almost came out. Two of Swords reverse. It could represent biased, failing to make a decision, someone being unblocked on social media. The Tower. Okay, I was just about to say, because Two of Swords is a Libra card. Libra energy is about fairness, and also the Two of Swords is about being unbiased. I feel like something about this relationship was also something that a lot of people knew about, because the Emperor and the Queen of Wands, that's pretty much, I mean, it's not exactly a match when it comes to the people suit or the people cards in tarot, but those are both leader energies. So there's something about two people who might have been together in the past, and there could have been like a huge falling out with this relationship, and then people saw it online or something. That could be why the Star is in the reverse. But the Tower represents shock more than anything. Shock, epiphany, chaos, upheaval. But the Tower also represents something having to be collapsed because it wasn't built on steady ground, but there's always room to rebuild afterwards. So if this is a relationship that a lot of people knew about, because both people are affluent, it could be locally in their community, there are some people who are picking sides, and I also feel like there are some people who are rooting for two people to come back together. I'm also hearing, like, if you have multiple children, the picking side things is something like some kids, let's say it's like mom and dad. Some kids might side with dad. Some kids might side with mom. But it's like some of them want two people to come back together. I know some people are not going to go back to their ex-husband or ex-wife or ex-partner. But that's just what I feel for some people watching this. And then Temperance upright is clarified by the Ace of Swords in the reverse. So usually Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands reverse to me is like hostility. So is this that someone's trying to keep the peace even though there was like a lot of drama surrounding the situation? Ace of Swords reverse could represent gossip too. If this is a situation that a lot of people know about, it could be something like people coming up to you wanting to get more information. Family definitely does that sometimes. But you're not being messy about it. Like, let's say the energy of someone who you co-parent with is coming out in this reading. people are expecting for you to talk shit about that person so they could get tea, but maybe you're so respectful that you don't even look at it like that. Karmic situations or karmics don't always have to be cartoonishly evil. Like, for example, like if your twin flame likes to go from karmic to karmic in their cycle, it doesn't mean that everyone that they choose over you hates your guts or even knows about you. They could also be other men or women or other people that need to learn that same lesson, and they could be pretty cool people. But let's get a little bit more with Ace of Swords reverse. Two of Pentacles in the reverse. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So someone's also struggling, I'm hearing, to find work or to have enough money. I mean, that could resonate with a single parent. Maybe Ace of Swords is in the reverse because people feel like you're not being honest or completely open about your financial life, which you don't have to tell people anything. But because this is all coming out underneath Temperance, I think you're just you're calm. Even though you could be going through a lot of storms right now, you could be very calm and you seem kind of unbothered about the situation, because I do feel like you're a spiritual giant. You have hella history in your Akashic records, and it's like you know how to weather the storm. Someone could have also been raised Christian, because I'm hearing the scripture, I think Paul said this, where you know how to basically be in feast or famine. You know how to have a lot, but you also know, I forgot what that scripture, I used to know it so well because it was it was kind of like one of my favorite scriptures, because I know what living like this is like. It's like you know how to be in the energy of abundance and attract abundance, but you also know how to go through hard times. Like if you do have days when you're eating beans and rice for dinner, or things that some people would complain about, it's like you know what it's like to be humbled and exalted at the same time. So it's nothing to you. And you might be around, I'm hearing mostly family members who know about struggles that you go through, and there's something about them patronizing you. Is patronized in the tiles? I think it might be. There's no O. They're patronizing you, but the truth is they wouldn't be able to do what you're doing anyway. Is there anything else that we can get in the tarot before I move on to the other forms of divination and the oracle cards? What should be like the main takeaways that I should get from this? The Hangman. I was just about to say again, something about this feels like someone who has a business too. And I feel like you have a substantial amount of followers. You make enough monetary gain from it, but maybe there's something about you wanting a breakthrough and it's not happening quite yet, like even more of a level up, because the Ace of Swords could represent breakthrough energy and it's in the reverse. And I was just about to say about how you were going through like a stagnant period, and we have the Hangman here. And really, I don't really feel like I need to say anything else with the tarot, because this is a lesson that you probably already know. You probably already watched hella tarot readings that have said this before. We got the Hangman here upright as the last card, and I'm also seeing Three of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. So you know what that means. It means you're going through another period of stagnation, but you are attracting a result that you're going to get in time. It's all about holding the frequency and just allowing divine order to unfold. But I understand how it just gets tiring hearing that message over and over again, and you try to get more clarity on things, but your spirit guides, other people's spirit guides are just telling you the same message over and over again. But that's really all there is to it. So that goes for the money situation, the pregnancy. Some of you are trying to manifest pregnancy. Some of you are trying to manifest a specific relationship coming back together. And if it's for you, you feel it in your soul, and it's gonna happen no matter what. Wheel of Fortune didn't come out, but that's Wheel of Fortune energy. It might come out in the charm casting though, or something close to it. So for astral alignment, I see Leo, courageous, regal, loyal. I was definitely feeling with Queen of Wands, someone could have Leo placements. You could just have a lot of fire in your chart in general. Waning gibbous moon, harvest, reception, gratitude. So it's that energy of how things have to be put on pause and then it will come back together when the time is right. Fire. I saw this card in my third eye when I said some of you could have a lot of fire in your chart, but I didn't know that it flipped over. Fire, radiant, enthusiastic, dynamic. I also feel like some of you, your love interest is another fire sign. We have South Node, which I talked about with Six of Cups reverse, past lives, natural gifts, karmic challenges. Some of you, it might be a karmic challenge to put yourself first or to know your worth and not reach out to people. I'm talking to feminines with that. Mercury, communication, correspondence, expression. Someone could have a Leo Mercury. I have a Leo Mercury. Or maybe you have a Sag Mercury or Aries Mercury. Let's get a little bit more from this deck. But also with Mercury, that's the energy of communication. And I feel like some of you, you're just waiting on communication from a job. Some of you are probably trying to connect to your spirit baby more. You're trying to connect to your twin who you're in no contact with right now, or low contact. I saw this card coming out too. Trine, auspiciousness, positivity, luck. So the fire sign trine is Leo, Sag, Aries. We have conjunction, integration, synergy, unity. So you would be in conjunction with another Sagittarius. So for some of you, your person is also a Sag sun, if you are a Sag sun. And I talked about this one too. Psyche, soul, consciousness, mind. So Sagittarius, they control 9th house in astrology, which is about, you know, psychological things, philosophy, and mind. So some of you, when you start stressing about things, there's probably just like a lot of energy in the crown chakra that needs to be balanced out. Some of you could have anxiety too. But I was picking up on someone who like takes medicine to regulate their emotions, and there's nothing that's wrong with that. We're at 40 minutes. So I definitely want to use the charms, and I also want to use golden mantras, but I got to use some other things too. So let's do angel numbers. These could be angel numbers that you already see a lot, or they're just principles that this energy or this reading is talking about right now. There's no O in the tiles, but I just heard the name Hector. And there's also something about someone wanting to travel to the Maldives. Okay, we got 123, progress here at the bottom. Some of you could be seeing a lot of butterflies too. We have 333, support. 413, synergy. So I didn't see that this was underneath until I like touched it. So with support and synergy, I'm hearing like if you're a divine feminine and you're on a twin flame journey and you feel like sometimes it's hard to connect to your masculine. They're actually, if you feel their energy and you're not thinking about them, which I know most of us think about our twin flames all the time, it's like they're cheering you on from a distance. Whether this person watches tarot like you too or not, or whether or not they're really into like spiritual stuff as much as you are, I feel like deep down inside they know how this connection works too. And with synergy, that just lets me know that if reunion is what you want, both of you are kind of like energetically getting ready to meet in the middle. I always feel that with safe travel too. We have 888 abundance, and this also represents karma. Someone could have angel number tattoo. And then we also have 1144 leveling up. I feel like someone sees a lot of angel numbers because 1144 is kind of like a lunchtime angel number that I see all the time. So I feel like you might see it on your stove. Once again, I'm picking up on the energy of a single mother or just a mother in general, someone who has a very busy at-home type lifestyle. And it's like you'll be so focused on what you're doing, and then when you look up, sometimes it's at the clock, sometimes it's on the stove, sometimes it's on your phone. But it's like you know the angel numbers are coming just because you're very intuitive, but they always still catch you off guard. Like you never know. You could probably predict which ones you're gonna see, but you never know. Like it's just like every time you look at your phone or whatever, you see it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do golden mantras right now. Okay, I'll just glance at the tiles and I see brats in here. So you could be a millennial because that was a toy that I love to play with. And I've actually been thinking about like connecting to my inner child and buying Bratz dolls again. Just maybe even just one of each of the main girls just to put on my bookshelf or something. So you could like Bratz dolls, or if you have a child, they could like Bratz dolls. But also one thing about the Bratz dolls is they were very stylish, and I do feel like the energy of a woman that puts a lot of time and dedication into her physical appearance is very significant. That could be one way that you're showing yourself love as you're waiting for someone to come back around. Getting your hair done, buying, like trying to upgrade your wardrobe or something like that. You might be getting a lot of joy from that. But I do feel like someone works at retail though, has a retail job. Okay, today I let you go. So we did see Five of Swords come out with Four of Pentacles. I talked about how like you could have been used to dating people, or if some of you have gotten married multiple times, marrying people who wanted to play games with you, people who were holding back. But I also think that that combination has dual meaning because it could also talk about how like your way of controlling things or trying to win is by grasping onto them too much. And I think with Today I Let You Go, you're just learning to accept the flow of life, and that's how you're able to attract more. Everything I touch turns into gold and invites lasting abundance into my life. It makes sense coming out in a Sag reading because you guys are ruled by Jupiter, which is seen as a very lucky or abundant, expansive planet. Wait a minute. Okay, I thought I saw a nebulizer in here, but someone could work in the medical field. Nurses in here, CPT, RN. Someone could watch the HLN channel too a lot. Someone's last name could be Alvarez. Someone could live in Arizona. Their name could be Eric. Is Patrice in here? Someone's name could be Patrice too. God created me to fulfill a unique purpose. I have a special gift to offer to the world. So someone might be doubting themselves. Like I said, I feel like you come from a very competitive field, and you could have been in the game for quite some time, at least like maybe 1 or 2 years, because like I said, I do feel like you have followers already, a lot, enough to make money from it. But I don't know, maybe you released like a new product or a new service and you were expecting for it to pop off like immediately, but I don't know if something needs to be tweaked or if it's just simply not time yet. I'm seeing a hummingbird over there. Which reminds me, there was another angel number that came out, but I forgot to talk about it. 000, New Beginnings. There was a physical feature card that I felt like was Barber Cosmo energy. And I'm a licensed barber. So we learned in school that zeros are called aughts. And there's like a scale that we use to determine like how low a guard or a box shaver or a box shaver or like a design razor can get close to the skin. So whenever I see angel number 000, I feel like someone who's a barber or a Cosmo could be significant. Most people don't know that barbers and Cosmos, we gender it, but really when I was going to school, barbers and Cosmos literally do the same haircuts. We do the same things. It's just that barbers' specialty is shaving, and Cosmos, they specialize in nails. Like they learn a little bit of esthetician stuff. Actually, the barbers learned it too, just a little bit. But Cosmos do nails, makeup, and I think that's it. And there's also like a thing like people, whenever they want to get color services, they usually go to Cosmos. But actually, barbers and Cosmos do most of the same thing. It's not really related to the reading, but I just wanted to say that because it's a misconception that a lot of people have. Let's get a little bit more of golden mantras. Okay. So I was hearing something like respire or something like that, and then I looked in the tiles and I saw Aspire. I know Aspire is a public school company. So someone can work with children. It doesn't have to be exactly at Aspire, but whatever comes out in the tiles kind of gives me a hint. And I'm claircognizant, so I know how to make sense out of things that may not make sense to other people. We also have I am remarkable, I am unique, I am a one-of-a-kind divine design. So some of you could have Aries in your chart because the Emperor came out, and Aries is a very, because they rule first house in astrology, self-body presence. There's something about you realizing how unique and trailblazing you are, how different you are, but also putting more effort into your physical appearance. And you could have already had that on lock, but it's like you're getting even better at it. I flow through life at a smooth consistency. This is what I was feeling like at this point. Some of the trials that you go through may be new, but you're a spiritual giant, so you know how to deal with almost anything that comes your way, really. And it may be a challenge to you, but you're still really strong, and you just trust the universe and you know how things work. Some of you might resonate with being star seeds too. Because I was thinking about using that Divine Masters deck, and I know that there's a card in there that talks about trusting the inner workings, and I think it's an alien card. Okay, I think Pacific is in here. So you could be from a state that goes by Pacific Standard Time. This could resonate with someone who lives in California, because I am seeing CU, so that kind of looks like university energy, but I'm also seeing Pacific. University of the Pacific, that's actually in Stockton where I live. So you might even be someone who I met in Stockton. Okay, so we have the die charm here, and it landed on 6 today. You could be seeing a lot of sixes. Maybe you have a life path 6. I keep thinking about this really cool person that I met last year. She's a Sagittarius sun, and she was telling me that she worked at a casino. So I've just been, whenever I do Sagittarius, she's one of the people that I think of. So I don't know if she's watching this video. But the number 6 could be significant. We did see 6 of Cups in the reverse. You could be a life path 6. I'm not surprised that the combat boot came out, because this usually comes out whenever we see 9 of Wands, because this is 9 of Wands energy, having to do everything by yourself, feeling like life is hard. It usually always comes out whenever I feel single parent or single mother energy. We have the crystal ball. I was picking up something about someone like connecting a lot to animal spirits or nature spirits, but also I am feeling like high priestess energy. So you could be, I know some of you have like online businesses. You could be an online tarot reader. You could have a YouTube channel too. Okay, so we have the dog, and we also have the healthy soulmate charm, so that's good to see. And because dogs have a tendency to kind of like go away and then come back, some of you are definitely trying to manifest a relationship with a person who you're not in contact with right now. Some of you could actually have a dog too. I see the me charm. Is it the right way? I see the me charm, and I also see the little piece of the chandelier. So that lets me know that you're just focusing on you right now. You're having fun with your life. Some of you are traveling. And I'm also picking up something about someone having a lot of tattoos. Maybe someone could have a lotus tattoo or an anchor tattoo. But the lotus represents how there are different layers to spiritual awakening. And then the anchor is one of my grounding charms. Some of you, I am picking up something about a person who recently came back from a cruise, or you're planning on going on a cruise soon. We have the phoenix rising from the ashes. Some of you took a break from a business type of thing, and you're coming back stronger. We have the unicorn, which represents uniqueness. The spider, which above all represents creativity and skillfulness. Some of you could have air in your chart too. And here it is. Like I was saying, I also pictured this coming out too with my third eye. This is the kind of like my taking charge of your own life charm, but it's also Wheel of Fortune energy. This could also be a synchronicity for someone taking a cruise. We have Triquetra, which represents the cycle of life, death, rebirth. That might resonate with you if you've had a miscarriage, especially if another reader has told you that this same child is going to come back, but in a different body. I know that's really deep and emotional. I'm sorry if I just made someone tear up, because I just kind of picture that, but that's just what I feel like I have to say. And then the sun card did come out. It is a card that represents children. This says you are my sunshine on the back. So someone has a really, if you do have one or multiple kids, I feel like you have a healthy relationship with your kids. And also, 5th house ruled by Leo is significant. Just doing things that make you happy, things that you see as fun. I just feel like you're really enjoying your life right now. Struggles and all. You're just finding ways to escape and, deal with everything. We have the glory charm. There are some spiritualists who incorporate Christian stuff too, and I feel like someone was raised in a Christian setting and they still take Christian things. So when I see glory, I feel like you're the type of person, when you pray, you still say things like God and Jesus, like thank you, Jesus. So you might be very vocal when it comes to gratitude like that. And that's why you're being blessed so much. And we have the jar magic charm. So that might go with what I was saying about how other people might know about your relationship, because I did put all the love charms in here. I got this from Hobby Lobby and it had like spades and stuff, but I just kept the hearts because I felt called to just keep the hearts. So this usually represents someone putting evil eye on a relationship. So a lot of people could know about you wanting to be with someone from your past, so you have to be careful who you talk to about that. Being that we have the spider and the snake, there's definitely sneaky people around you, but there might be one person who's sneakier than you think that they are. One person who you trust in your close circle who's messy. Their name could be in the tiles I just heard. We have peace here. I feel like you're a very peaceful, pacifist type person. Even when it comes to the people who are co-parenting, I feel like you're cool with who you're with. The song Cool by Gwen Stefani could be significant. And last but not least, we have the Sheriff Star here. So with the Sheriff Star charm, this is kind of like my "this town ain't big enough for the two of us" charm. So some of you, like if you know your person is with a karmic, you might be kind of territorial with that. But because the unicorn charm came out too, there's something about like people might be very competitive with you. They might try to take your place sometime, but you always end up winning in competitions. Or maybe you don't even think like that, but people always want to compete with you, people who are insecure and low vibrational. So you have traits that are very admirable. And sometimes when people admire you, they don't really know any healthy ways of expressing that. So that could definitely be someone at your place of work too, for those of you who are still working, because I was picking up on some people losing hours or they've been out of a matrix job for a while. But that's all that I have for you right now. Hopefully you got something out of the reading. If you like the way how I do tarot, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.